Good morning. Thank you very much. And I must say that I'm already extremely impressed by the level of substance that I've heard. I feel a little awkward because it is true that, I am not an expert on what you will be discussing. But I will say that, something that's said about military history is that, and military issues, is that amateurs study tactics and professionals study logistics. But when it comes to power, amateurs study generation and professionals study the grid. And what you are doing, I think, is extremely important because ultimately, one thing that binds every country in the world is that every country in the world could do more to improve the resiliency and capacity and sophistication of its electrical grid. And I think that what will be discussed here today, bringing together experiences and best practices, as well as I think some really visionary ideas and really remarkable changes that have taken place in a short period of time, reflects what is best about our ability to work together and the partnership that we have amongst the countries that are represented here, including first and foremost India. From the United States perspective, what we see is that India's success is in our interest. And a key part of India's success is the ability to provide power and to do it in a way that is sustainable and addresses India's needs in a way that makes a difference for the people of India. So any country that is growing at the rate that India does faces tremendous challenges providing adequate power to its people. And the way that the Indian government has sought to address that, I think, reflects a recognition of the need to try and get ahead of this. And in doing that, figuring out how to integrate different generations, and renewables into a very rapidly evolving mix is a tremendous challenge. And I think that what we've seen is that one of the key elements to doing that effectively is to address the challenges of integrating the different generation into the grid and doing it in a way that is as effective and valuable as possible. So on behalf of the U.S. government, it's a great pleasure to welcome you to the second International Conference on Large-Scale Integration of Renewable Energy in India. And in my mind, this isn't just about India. Yes, what you will be discussing is India, but this is also about taking advantage of the incredible opportunities to learn from each other so that what is discussed here goes elsewhere and helps shape discussions in other parts of the world where the experiences of India can be tremendously valuable in the same way that the experiences that people from around the world they bring here help inform and shape making the best possible decisions. It's very clear that there's been a tremendous change in the past 15 years in the status of renewables. I'm sure that everyone here remembers when people used to say, oh, well, renewables will never compete on price. Renewables, the economics just are never going to do it. It's always going to be fossil fuels will always be competitive. Now, what we hear is, oh, well, you shouldn't just focus on price. You need to focus on reliability. And if you think about that, it's been remarkably fast. I mean, for all of you who work in this field, I'm sure that at times it feels painfully slow. But if you look at the historical aspects of this, I mean, the fact that in a decade, we have essentially gone from you can't compete on price to, well, don't just look at price. That's a remarkable change. And I think that it highlights the importance of getting the grid right. What India has done in that same period of the past decade is truly remarkable. And I think it's particularly remarkable given the unique strains and challenges of managing the pressures of tremendous growth in demand, managing different types of supply. And so I think that the relevance that we can all gain from the Indian experience is tremendous. For the U.S., we're very committed to being partners with India as we go forward. Because, as I said, we have a huge stake in India's success, and it's impossible to imagine that India can be successful as it seeks to grow and provide better opportunities for its people if it is not able to provide adequate power. The U.S.-India Strategic Energy Partnership is very much a reflection of the central importance that we place on energy and also the tremendous opportunity that we see to partner with India and to get lessons which we believe very firmly are tremendously beneficial for us. This is not a one-way partnership. What we get out of this relationship from an American perspective is tremendously important and tremendously valuable. We've been very fortunate to work with, I think, outstanding Indian partners who are truly committed, who are truly looking to develop a genuine partnership, and we're very appreciative of that. One of our collaborations is the U.S. government's Greening the Grid initiative that we do with the Ministry of Power, which is very much geared towards supporting the aspirational goal of deploying 175 gigawatts of renewable power by 2022, which I think, as we've seen, it may be aspirational, but the trajectory seems pretty clear that it's attainable. And I think that reflects the tremendous work that has been done by many people in this room, including the commitment of the Indian government. We are tremendously grateful for our partnership with the Power System Operation Corporation, and this reflects a number of different things. We've worked together in a number of areas, testing control systems on renewable generators, the National Open Access Registry, which ideally will reduce power trading times. But I think that these are only first steps. So one of the things that we see as very important is also making sure that the private sector's expertise is harnessed. And so in that vein, one of the elements of the Greening the Grid program is the Industry Advisory Council, a collective of U.S. and Indian companies that have been established in partnership with the U.S.-India Strategic Partnership Forum, or USISPF, which is really designed to bring together those who have expertise in the various domains that are critical to making sure that India is able to achieve its goals in terms of providing power for its people. One of the things that we also see as very important as part of our broader engagement in India is supporting gender diversity. And today I'm very pleased to announce the launch of the South Asian Women in Energy, a platform that our U.S. Agency for International Development and the U.S.-India Strategic Partnership Forum have been working on, that will try and promote and bring together women in the energy sector to network, collaborate, and connect. We're very proud that we have outstanding partners in Germany and in the UK, and so our GIZ and DFID are equally committed to this cause. And I think that what we see is that this is one further way in which our efforts together with committed Indian partners can make a significant difference in terms of creating the infrastructure that will support, again, the goals that we all share in common. I think that one of the things that we're very focused on is that India has extraordinary challenges, and we all recognize that. But the way that India addresses those challenges sends very powerful signals to the rest of the world. Because if you can get it right here, that is a message that resonates in many other places. And so, we've watched with great interest the commitment that the government has had towards building modern infrastructure, providing renewable power and renewable energy, building the infrastructure necessary to transmit it effectively, and that we see this as an area of great potential for cooperation. And that's why the U.S. government is working to support this through the Asia Edge program. And of course, it's government, right? So there has to be an acronym, and the acronyms constantly change. But Asia Edge is Enhancing Development and Growth Through Energy. And for us, Asia Edge is very much something that we see as addressing the fact that virtually every country in Asia is looking to expand, enhance, and improve its ability to provide power, distribute it effectively, and have redundancy and safety in its grid. And also, there's a huge uptake in renewable power. So we think that while India is getting some of the benefits of being an early mover on large-scale deployment of renewable energy, this is only a first step. And our view is that by working together, by supporting activities such as this, that bring together true experts, that can cross-pollinate, that can generate ideas, that this is something that will advance our common goals. And I want to really thank my colleagues from Germany and the UK. And I would say you can always see that it's a sign that it's like the very end of August or the beginning of September when all 3 of our ambassadors are out of the country on vacation. So, we're all here, and I think that we see this as an area where we will continue to work together, and that this is something where the potential is unlimited. But it really does depend on people like you. And so I commend you for being here. I hope that all of you are able to contribute, to learn, to work together, to develop the kinds of relationships that mean that this conference has a lasting impact. And I just want to highlight that our appreciation for the work that has been done by Energynautics, the U.S. Energy Association, our partner Deloitte, in terms of putting this together, as well as obviously DFID and GIZ. And so I wish you the best, and I hope that this is something where what happens today has a lasting impact, not just through what you decide, but through the partnerships and relationships that you build, so that in the future, the examples, good and bad, serve as vehicles to make sure that we get it right the next time. Thank you very much.